Hallelujah. It's the 1st of April. Does anyone else feel like March has been an entire year of its own? It's extraordinary how much has been happening and changing. Even last week on Friday, I made some plans with my sister, and by Sunday night, they were no go. So it's Tricia Veldhausen here from Churchill Education. I just have been reflecting on what we have been learning about people and how we respond to this. And I figured out that we fall into three camps from the people we've been speaking to. And I just wanted to walk you through who we are and help you figure out where you might be falling. So when we're talking to people at Churchill and the phones have still been ringing and people have been emailing, we're first of all finding that there are the people who are the strategists. They're the people that are still lining up with this idea of this will end, and on the other side of this, on the other side of COVID-19, on the other side of this bastard, I am coming out swinging. And in fact, I might not even wait till it's over before I come out swinging. They're the people that can have had their job impacted or not, but they just go, you know what, this is an opportunity to look at things differently. And what do I want? What do I need? And how do I get myself in a position to turn this thing around? So we're hearing from them as they get ready to plan for a career advancement still. They're those people that are going, right, opportunities come. They're kind of the people that are out probably, if they had the money, they'd be buying on the stock market at the moment too, with this idea of what goes down must come back up. So you know you're a strategist if you are looking for the opportunities and you are thinking to yourself, I am going into this with the best possible attitude, the best possible resources, and they're ringing us saying, right, get me in position. So if that relates to you, you feel yourself with that whole, this is an opportunity and I am not going to go down without a fight, then welcome, you're in the strategists. Now we're also hearing from the status quo people. They are the people that are going, nothing to see here, people. I am changing nothing. Don't talk to me about changing my job right now. I have a paycheck hitting that account every week and I am so grateful. And can I just say, we are grateful for that for you too. That must be such an awesome sense of relief for those families that are going, you know what, I'm watching the news, I'm seeing the queues outside Centrelink, I'm hearing the Prime Minister speak, but my pay keeps hitting the bank account. And how good is that? Now the status quo folk aren't going to be selling the house. They're not going to be digging for a pool. They're not planning for a holiday. They are very much status quo. Let's just leave things. Do not mess with a good thing. It's all working right now and we're not intending to change any of it. We're actually hearing from them too, because they are looking at it going, can you just give me an updated preliminary assessment? I'm not ready to do anything with it. I just want to know where I stand. It's a bit like they're checking, the bank balance, checking the mortgage interest rates, working out what's in the cupboard. They're not necessarily stockpiling. They're just making sure they've got a handle on it. And so they're coming to us saying, can you do a preliminary assessment? I want to understand what level of qualification I'm on, and I want to understand which qualifications that my experience would be eligible for. And got to be honest, I love a good status quo, because at the moment there is so much change that it's lovely for some people that are experiencing more limited changes. Now, the third group are the group that I'm really feeling for at the moment. They're the survivalists. And I guess I really relate to those because Randall and I have encountered that a number of times in our 20 years together, and starting from when he medically retired from the police, which was a forced medical retirement. It wasn't something that he ever wanted. And overnight, his identity, who he was, went down the tubes. But with that went a really solid paycheck that came every fortnight from the Queensland government, and suddenly we were in survival mode. So if you're in survival mode, chances are your head is reeling. You are wondering how the world has tipped so quickly, because so many people that are in survival mode have been doing their job happily for a long time and never saw it coming, because let's face it, none of us really did. If you are in survival mode, I just want to walk you through what Randall and I did to get us through. And really it came down to this very simple strategy, because there is always a strategy. It just can be one thing. The strategy for us was just to find the one next right thing to do, just one. We could not get our heads around a whole of life plan. We could just do the one. So that we came up with 5 things that we actually did one after another. And the very first thing we did was to get Randall some really good quality mental health support. Now here's the good news, people. The federal government right now has invested a lot of money in mental health support. Beyond Blue is there. There are programs designed. Do not be proud, ask for help. If you're not functioning, nothing else can follow. So that's your very first next right thing. If you need it, reach out and get someone to give you a hand with looking after you. From there, get a basic budget together. And I'm talking basic right now. You need a roof over your head. You need the lights on, and you need food in the fridge. Those are your priorities. And the banks, the landlords, the utilities companies have all been given these writing orders, and many of them are already in place, waiting to hear from you. You need to just tell them that this is the impact COVID-19 has had on you and ask for help, and the rest is just stuff right now. So get that basic sort of kit in order, and that's what we did. We sat down, we made up a basic budget. Randall actually went and picked up whatever work he could get, which at the time was a little bit of casual work as a private investigator, to bring a little bit of cash. There's opportunities out there right now just to try and pick up little bits of job. They might not be your career job, but they are enough to help inject a bit of cash. If that's what you've got before you, grab it. Do everything you can to grab it, because you need that basic budget, those basic finances in order. So with your money, it won't be perfect. It won't be perfect by a long shot, but there's something happening there. Then the next thing we did was we started talking to the experts. So we didn't know what to do next, but we found someone that could talk to Randall. So Randall's first thing was a career counsellor, and that started a conversation. Then the career counsellor sent him to a training organisation, and Randall started to talk about recognising his skills. From there, it went to this business idea, to a small business expert. You get the idea? We just took one conversation after another with people that knew their craft, knew their area, and could understand more than us and understand our situation. And you just get one conversation at a time. So whatever that is for you, find that one first conversation. Inevitably, the conversations with the genuine people that know about this, that understand where you sit, will help lead you to another good conversation. And there are people out there ready to give you a hand. So find the next right conversation by just starting with the first conversation. And here's the other final kicker that we made sure was our 5th next right step. We limited the negativity and we promoted the positivity. Now, what I mean by that was we actually limited our circle quite closely. We pulled in from people that were inherently negative. The last thing Randall needed to do was to talk to people that were so jaded about the Queensland Police. It wasn't going to help us at all. So we didn't. We didn't engage in those conversations. Instead, we went and found the people that would promote positivity into our lives. Now, they weren't Pollyanna. They weren't, oh, this is nothing. You're going to be just fine. They acknowledged this is hard. They also said, and we believe in you and we've got you back. So we limited our social circle so that people that thought depression wasn't real, PTSD wasn't real, and there's some people that still wander the earth with that sort of just smile and you'll be fine. No, you won't. So get help. Refer to point A. But we actually made sure that we stayed away from those people. We went to the people who were positive, which included people who'd been through exactly what we were going through, but had made it through to the other side. So we kept in touch with those. We had quite a small circle, but they were the people that could help us. So those were the conversations that gave us strength and direction and hope. So that brings me to this final point, which is no matter where you're at, if you're a strategist, if you're in status quo mode, or if you are just doing your very best to survive, you're not alone. None of us are alone in this. You are definitely not alone. It might feel alone at times, and the social distance might make this harder, but I promise you there are people at the end of the line ready to listen to you, ready to help you. There's so much funding floating around to try and inject support. There are that many businesses who are just going, you know what, this is what we can do. We can help you right now by a listening ear, by our best advice, by the resources that we've got that we can unlock for you. So if you're in that camp, regardless of which one of the 3 you look at, if we can help, we're here, reach out, and in the meantime, stay safe.